To the people who refuse to acknowledge what's happening here in the UK and what's being done to you, I would say this, if you carry on like this with your head in the sand, it's always going to be so much easier, isn't it, for the government to take you right up. Comrades, my name is Keir Starmer and I'm here for foundations. When I became your Prime Minister, not only did I get new hair and glasses provided by a donor who now has full access to 10 Downing Street and my bedroom, we were promised three things. Number one, we would be fully costed and fully funded. We're so fully funded and fully costed, we're essentially just like Katie Price.
Katie Hopkins has never been one to shy away from speaking her mind, and her recent outspoken critiques of Keir Starmer's leadership of the Labour Party are no exception. Her latest commentary has sparked waves across social media and news outlets, especially in light of a viral petition challenging Starmer's policies that has already gathered over 2.9 million signatures. Hopkins isn't holding back, questioning whether Starmer is truly listening to the voices of those who need help the most. Whether you agree with her or not, she's amplifying concerns that resonate with a growing number of people in the UK, ensuring Starmer hears their frustrations loud and clear. Her bold approach is not just raising eyebrows, but fueling a larger debate, shining a light on the increasing disillusionment with current political leaders. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers, and we couldn't have done it without you. Thank you for your incredible support. To celebrate, we're giving away £1,000 to 10 lucky winners, £100 each. Here's how to enter. Subscribe to our channel. Like this post. Drop your postcode in the comments. Once we hit 10,000 subscribers, we'll randomly select the winners. Don't miss your chance to be part of the £1,000 giveaway. Start now, and it could be you.
It is true, I think, that Britain is being used as a test island. Because we're an island, things are being tested on us, and that's why it seems to be moving so fast in our country. And finally, the Transport Secretary, Louise Haigh, has resigned because she committed fraud a long time ago. I thought she might have resigned because she's the only woman less than Angela Rayner, but no, it's just that she was a fraudster, which is why Keir Starmer employed her, because she fitted in so much better with the other criminals sat round the cabinet table. That's it!
At the centre of the storm is Starmer's reported push to ban controversial figures like Nigel Farage and Lee Anderson from platforms like GB News. While some see these figures as divisive, Hopkins argues that they represent a crucial voice of opposition that refuses to toe the line. For her, silencing them only makes Starmer appear weak and unwilling to engage with tough questions, feeding into a growing public skepticism about his leadership. For Hopkins, this isn't just about policy, it's a battle for free speech. She believes true leadership isn't about shutting down criticism, but confronting it head-on.
And finally, my darlings, Elon Musk may well get involved in politics in the UK, which will be a glorious thing. He might spend $100 million on getting Reform elected, which, as long as Richard Tyson, Nigel Farage don't use it all sort of spunking themselves with champagne, that will be a jolly great thing. Well done, Elon Musk. Maybe you'd like to put myself and Tommy Robinson head of efficiency units here in the UK. That's it, my darlings. Batshit bonkers bloody Britain.
She argues that this chips away at the very foundations of a free society. But it's not just the question of free speech that Hopkins is taking on. One of her most powerful critiques targets how Starmer's leadership is abandoning older generations, particularly pensioners. She paints a picture of hard-working individuals who've spent their lives contributing to society, only to feel ignored by a government fixated on lofty ideals, while the struggles of the elderly go unaddressed. Hopkins shares powerful anecdotes from pensioners who are overwhelmed by rising energy bills, inadequate health care, and failing social services. Positioning herself as a fierce advocate for this overlooked demographic, she raises concerns that resonate deeply with many. Her questions echo far beyond just pensioners. Are working-class citizens truly better off under Starmer's leadership? Are struggling families getting the support they need? And most pointedly, do older generations feel valued in today's society?
Our energy prices of the whole summer, when you don't need your heating on, they put the price down. The minute it's fucking freezing and we're about to go into properly Baltic, they shove the price up by 10%. And my question is, where are elderly people supposed to get an extra 150 quid? Or 1,500 or 2,000 or whatever their extra bill is, right? £300. Where are they supposed to rustle that? What would you like them to do? You Rachel Reeves, what would you like them to do? Would you like them to what? Auction off a kidney maybe? I mean, what use is an 85-year-old kidney? It's probably knackered, it's had that much go through it over a whole lifetime. They can't sell one of them. What do you want them to sell? Their eyeballs, well, the half of them can't see because they're 95.
Hopkins is not alone in voicing this discontent. Public figures like Jeremy Kyle have also criticised Starmer's handling of issues like immigration and housing. Kyle, for instance, has raised concern about the government's approach to housing migrants in hotels while British citizens face homelessness. Hopkins amplifies this frustration, asking why the government can prioritise housing for migrants yet leave citizens in need without adequate support. While acknowledging the importance of helping those in need, including migrants, she believes that support should never come at the expense of British citizens. She argues that Starmer's policies should find a balance, ensuring both migrants and UK citizens have access to the services they need.
So that's the Chagos Islands we've given away. We're offering Korea Gibraltar. We're going to give away the Elgin Marbles, and Keir Starmer is in talks with half of Bradford to try and give away his wife, if anyone fancies a third one. But
let me remind you what Labour is splashing other taxpayer cash on while our elderly freeze to death. £22 billion on a carbon capture programme that's hated by eco-zealots and climate sceptics alike. £14 billion in foreign aid. £14 billion in public sector pay rises to the likes of train drivers already earning up to £60,000 a year. And at least £1 billion a year housing asylum seekers.
Hopkins also takes aim at the stark contrast between Starmer's promises and his actions. When Starmer and his deputy, Angela Rayner, vowed not to raise taxes, it was seen as a beacon of hope for struggling families. But with taxes rising, that promise now feels like a betrayal, one that's stirring growing anger and disillusionment. For Hopkins, the impact of these tax hikes isn't just a financial issue, it's a breach of trust. Working-class families, already feeling the pressure from rising inflation and the cost of living, are now facing even higher taxes, a blow to their already fragile budgets. Every penny counts for these families, and the rising tax burden means fewer resources for essentials like food, rent, and heating. This disconnect between the government's policies and the harsh realities faced by ordinary citizens is a gap Hopkins believes Starmer fails to comprehend.
Keir Starmer and his Labour government have just passed something that takes away 300 quid from our elderly that they use to heat their homes. This will kill old people this winter. They will die because of this, and yet every single Labour MP voted for it apart from one, and 50 of the cretins decided to abstain, thinking this would somehow absolve them of their sins. Now, breaking news here in batshit bonkers Britain, where it's Good News Tuesday, and I have come dressed as Natalia, the Russian ice skater from the 1970s, for no apparent reason. The UK and France are talking up the war in Ukraine because they want to sell more nuclear warheads and push up BlackRock shares, make hay while the sun shines and all of that, because they know when Trump gets into office, all of that war is over in about 2.3 seconds.
As the erosion of trust in Starmer's leadership becomes more apparent, the question remains, can he truly rise to the challenge? Polling data and social media are showing that many voters feel let down by his failure to address key issues, with some even labelling him as one of the least effective leaders in recent memory. His reactive approach to leadership, where he seems to be more focused on responding to events than proactively addressing pressing issues, has left many feeling that the change they hoped for under Labour isn't materialising. In conclusion, Hopkins delivers a clear message: the UK's working-class citizens, pensioners, and struggling families feel increasingly unsupported under Starmer's leadership.
I understand that some people won't like the changes that we've made. But I say this with all candour. If you don't like the changes that we've made, I say the door is open and you can leave.
Rising taxes, broken promises, and the sense that the needs of the British public are being sidelined in favour of others have left many frustrated and unheard. Hopkins calls for accountability, challenging Starmer to listen to the people and restore trust in leadership. Whether Starmer can meet this challenge remains to be seen, but for now, Hopkins and her supporters are sending a loud and clear message: the public is watching, waiting for a leader who will finally stand up for their needs. So, what do you think about Katie Hopkins' brutal approach at taking down Keir Starmer? Let me know in the comments down below, and make sure to subscribe to stay up to date with all of the news that the mainstream media refuses to show you.